No. Possum.
What? Hey,
No,
Martin.
possum. No. More, less poltergeist, more like spooky skeleton sound. That's what you're aiming for with this. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah. We got a thing to do, don't we?
Per, we'll yell harumph later. Hi everyone. Welcome to game 1 between Fried Potato and Xalde. I'm Martin. The Zoe dumpster thing over there is Possum. Say hi, Possum.
Hi, Possum.
There you go. How's everyone doing today? Are we ready for a good race?
I'm ready for not a good race, but a great race. We have two amazing runners here and an amazing person in the booth in Martin Broadcloak, and I am pleased to be here with you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, let's focus on us. More focus on obviously the people doing the work behind the scenes. Yeah, we have Harumph and Dathis keeping the buttons safe from you, but obviously you have other priorities in mind right now. So I think we're going to be okay on that front.
I see a lot of fish.
Those are might be confusing to kind of keep your characters in line. I do notice Sid is spelled slightly differently there.
Yeah, Sid's big and burly and very aggressive. Yeah. There's got to be a reason for that.
I don't know what it is. That's a good question. But yeah. What is this novel and the meme objective? What is this?
I believe that we're being taught English language, and something about a very long word, and we're being thanked or being told you're welcome.
It's if that's like the English version of Common Core math, I'm okay without it in my life. If I need to learn that, boy do.
You know what I'd be okay with?
What's that?
Not having to defeat Evil Wall in a really rude spot. Just looking at real objectives.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Now we see why the Sid was spelled with all caps, because hey, he's our hero.
The best hero.
I personally love the weaponry coming out of Sid when you complete the forge, because boy, is that some fun stuff.
Yeah, Sid's worst forge weapon, if our runners are lucky enough to complete the forge using the legend sword and the adamant, his worst weapon is akin to an Excalibur. His best weapon is a crystal sword plus, and it can cast nuke in a pinch. Sid is just silly as a hero.
Yeah, and I personally am all for fading Evil Wall here. I would love to see it, but obviously the runners here, they see these objectives, they see a Sid start. What are they looking for? What's your start game here in the first 5 minutes?
Well, Sid comes with a wooden hammer, and worst case scenario, he can basically kind of bop stuff, and bop Hobbs and bop Antlion and bop Fabool, and pretty much go around bopping things with his hammer. Best case scenario, you find a Palom and maybe a Rosa, or even, a Porum. You want some good balance with a Sid, because he does one thing and he does it very well, and that is kind of just bop things, and then eventually way down the line have a ton of health to be kind of a great safety valve. But it looks like our runners might finally be ready to get this thing going. I see they're both at the main screen now. I'm excited, Martin.
Oh, and I see a start. I see a black screen. I think we're getting somewhere. All right.
Now, I've been told.
Oh, well. No. Hi. No. Okay, well that's a weapon that'll sit there and gather dust for a little while. But hey, it's a Tella.
Somebody hide Oscar. She doesn't need to see this.
Possum, you do know what this Tella means, right?
It means that we have exit.
That is true. We have exit. Also, with Tella in your party. That does mean either we are going to do a D-money grind or we aren't.
Well, thank you, Mr. Madden.
Yes, quite welcome.
I was unaware you have started taking up residence in the free enterprise world.
I mean, it's not a bad start. I mean, like you said, exit's wonderful. I mean, as we see Potato here going straight for Watery Pass, I mean, this allows you to be a little cheeky, and if you want to loot the entire pass, by all means, go for it. You have a a release valve and exit, so.
Yeah, it takes it'll be about 3.5 minutes on the timer to go through the entirety of Watery Pass with exit. Also, hello Murasame. My goodness, if we find an edge, our runners are going to be awful pleased here. Xalde looking like he's going to do the back of Watery Pass, whereas Potato, there's a mute knife and a poison axe, and that Murasame is coming up with all sorts of goods in the front part of Watery Pass.
I was gonna say this pass so far has and like you said, that poison axe for Sid. I mean, with Sid in the middle, accuracy, whatever, that means nothing when Sid's in the middle swinging with that thing. So
that was. Oh, there's a cat claw also, Martin. So we have weapons for Edge. We picked up a flame spear for Kane, a cat claw for Yang, a poison axe for Sid. This is melee fighter delight in Watery Pass tonight.
Which means I feel like we're due for some more mages in our future.
So Rydia, Porum, and Rosa.
Yeah, basically all the ones that can't use all the wonderful gear that we have.
Good, then we get manual 1200 strats at the end. I'm trying to make it a thing, man.
Eventually we'll get to that point. I mean, with the talent of these runners and I don't be surprised if it becomes reality sooner or later. So, and a boomerang to back row glitch edge. Wow.
Yeah, if there's an edge in this seed, our runners are even more off to the races than they normally would be with a Sid Tella start. So this has the potential to be very strong. Even that dancing dagger there. So worst case scenario, you pick up a Rydia, you pick up an Edward, and you're still able to go through and just crush it.
Yeah.
Now we see something interesting here. Potato exited out of the back of Watery Pass. No. That is not great because that means you have to walk the whole thing.
Back. Yep.
So I will say, one major difference between our runners, Xalde has participated in the last couple of tournaments, is always kind of a bracket bubble type player, is very strong and very consistent. This is Potato's first tournament. He is a ladder grinder, has been playing this game for a long time, but that could just be early nerves in his first major 1v1 race in a tournament. We'll hope that he's able to calm down and kind of get that under control, because we don't want him to bleed too much time early on here.
No, especially like I said, with the talent pool that we're currently, I mean, you see the 24 and the 39 seed. I mean, going all the way down to 64. There's no freebies in this. This is the top 64 for a reason. So, giving away however long it took you to walk, the entire pass, a minute, that's dangerous. You have to kind of mitigate those as best you can.
Yeah, it's definitely a rough thing. Again, hopefully Potato settles down and we don't see anything more like that. I have no doubt he will. Again, he might not have been in tournament races 1v1 before, but my goodness, this man is a ladder grinder and has probably been in more races on the ladder than you and I combined, which are ultimately 1v1s.
Yeah, I can confirm. Yes, that is that's most definitely true. So, all that experience should prove very valuable. Obviously made it to brackets, so yes, it did something.
Yes.
But now we're kind of in Potato's wheelhouse of, hey, I played 60, 70, 80 one-on-ones in ladder. I'm ready for this. So, but we see our first boss in Antlion, and oh, hi! Isn't it great to see this one early and out of the way?
Yes and no. You just need to make sure you kill it before it kills you.
That's a good John Madden there. I'll allow it. I was more thinking of like finding Plague in a spot where the crumble becomes a reality, and you have to sit through it, and you just watch the time bleed away because you don't have a kamikaze, and it's horrible.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's a pass. That's a nice reward for an hour to 90 minutes from now, possibly later.
Yeah.
But we also saw from Xalde, we were able to see Bahamut in the original or vanilla Octomam spot in the waterfall. So
Hmm.
Bahamut is a freebie out of the way for our runners. Not really something that they want to see early on. And frankly, Plague is also kind of a freebie for runners of this caliber, where they're able to oftentimes take him down with little to no effort.
Hmm.
So that's kind of an unfortunate series of events, seeing two relatively free bosses right away.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too. Let's not discount the fact that Poison Axe on Sid. I mean, the spot has 1,000 HP, and Sid with a wooden hammer and Tella, without a decent weapon, you're going to be a little bit hard pressed to kill that plague before the timer hits 0. So that axe is proving very invaluable right now, as we are actually literally just seeing on Zol's side. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh, that is also one place where a fancy little mechanic called run buffering can be very helpful,
Mm.
where you basically can kind of stop time in order to allow yourself to get not necessarily extra actions, but the ability to get your inputs in at a more crisp speed. So
Mhm.
it would be very good for our runners to maybe implement that if possible, and it is kind of an acquired technique, if you will.
Yeah.
Uh, but looks like Potato just blew up Dr. Luge. The robot is done talking. Our runners are going to be dealing with a little bit of Poison Walk, which I know I'm a huge fan of.
And another sword for Edge that he doesn't need. And more importantly, we now have a DKC in our party.
Yeah, DKC, more importantly, means you have a full-on Paladin Cecil at some point soon TM.
Mm.
And with a Poison Axe Sid, I would highly consider rushing Mount Ordeals right now and
I
fade Fabul for the time being.
I don't disagree. Um, of course, we're proven wrong immediately, which is fine. But yeah, no, I don't disagree with that. I mean, getting Cecil online as soon as possible it's skip the fact that yes, obviously he does insane amounts of damage with the correct weaponry, but the cover side of Cecil is the one that even if you, I mean, I've done silver staff, and a ton of armor strats with Cecil before, and value cannot be understated. Getting Paladin Cecil online immediately.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. The fact that Evil Wall's an objective also means this Cecil almost certainly never leaves the party if that
Hmm.
Evil Wall isn't seen early on.
Yeah.
It is absolutely huge to have Cecil be able to back row and put something decent on him for armor
Hmm.
and just go ahead and lock out any boss from doing physical damage. Speaking of bosses that like to do physical damage and also annoy you to no end, there's an
Yeah.
Asura, and we might have to resort to good old lifelock strats here. Martin, what
I,
are lifelock strats?
oh, pretty relatively straightforward. You notice when you get the attack off, when you see the life 1 queue up, Asura doesn't really quite know what to do with herself, so she just continues casting life 1 on herself. And it just keeps going until the fight's over. So it's nice. You don't have to deal with the Cure 4 or the Cure 3 or anything. It doesn't matter the damage. Just don't miss.
Which thankfully, Poison Axe never misses, so we're all set here.
I think that was sarcasm.
A
I'm
little
pretty sure
bit.
that was sarcasm. Yeah. That's like off-slot telecasting a stone, right?
Better than Foo,
That's absolutely true.
and
So.
only my experience. Meanwhile, we have Zald going up to meet the good doctor, going to get his DKC as well. While Potato is probably one good Poison Axe hit away, probably not an 8 damage Thor Rage, but one good Poison Axe swing away from getting through this Asura.
No, but the big thing was obviously just don't miss doing damage during that life 1 thing. So yeah, trusting Tella to actually hit. That's a scary proposition sometimes.
Speaking of scary propositions, that lifelock was about to be ruined there, and Potato had to go hold aim mode at the end of that fight and was able to get through it. So a little bit of a free and bless out there for Potato not having to deal with a nasty Cure 4 for like 1700 out there.
Isn't that always a great time? Hey, Legend Sword, that's a great time too.
That's half of a potential Flare Hammer, which would make anybody happy.
Absolutely. Or, you know, you could just settle for the next best thing, which is an Earth Hammer. I guess that's fine.
That might be the best early Fabool little mini treasure I've ever seen. A Gaia Drum, a Big Bomb, and an Earth Hammer. That is absolutely insane on this flag set to get those there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And a Dwarf Axe for sale? I'm pretty sure we're cleaning our inventory here. We're gonna be buying one of those. Yeah, because not only does it back row Cecil and Sid, which bow and arrows will do, but in case old Patently Average decides to show up in the seed. That's it's the old and only shop.
Well, we know what that means.
Yes,
celebrate good times, friends. There's a vampire
to sell to it by a chance.
There's a vampire on the first chest on Ordeals. That's a big deal as well. A little less so for Sid than most other heroes, but you still do have to take that fight alone. Yes. The third fight in Ordeals has to be done alone, which can get awkward even for Sid. Also, hello Dwarf Axe. That's going to sting a little for Potato if he loots Ordeals, since he just bought one.
Isn't that how the game always works though? You always buy something, then you find it like in the next chest or next couple chests later. That's how the game operates.
It is, in fact.
Yeah. So it's fine. I mean, but yeah, to your point, obviously, and regardless of whichever fight it is in that mirror room that Sid has to go one-on-one, I mean, even if, you know, physical damage isn't an option, like you said, the vampire, Gaia Drum, things like that, that Earth Hammer, you know, if it happens to be the gauntlet in the mirror room, that Earth Hammer does very quick work. So a lot of viable options to take care of whatever nasty may be in the mirror room. Or it could just be King Queen Evelyn and we won't feel bad at all.
Yeah, definitely true. And I mean that Earth Hammer for this party in particular, our AoE is basically Tella with Recall and Cecil with Dark Wave. So that Earth Hammer not only doubles as good DPS, but it gives you a way to more or less have a sweeper that you otherwise wouldn't have with this party. So it's quite a nice pickup.
Yeah, very much so. So yeah, this calamari on Xalde's side, soon to be on Potato's side, will be done with here shortly, and we'll get to see our favorite early game spot, the back attack on Ordeals. Boy, have we seen some rude ones here before, haven't we?
What are you hoping for? Good old Magus Sisters, maybe?
Oh, I mean, Sid survives the casts from dear old Mindy, but I don't know. I'm
most of the time.
I'm curious if we have the multipliers to get through Val right now. I'm really curious. I'd love to see it.
Okay. I mean, this is rude. The vampire is actually the rudest part here.
Yeah, very much so.
That vampire is going to haul off and do probably 250 to 300. The punches, Sid's not going to really be scared at all, but the vampire is a little sketchy.
Yeah. I'm not against using the J item, especially like the HP-based J items with Sid. I mean, are you really ever going to find a better spot to use them? Probably not. They're probably just going to be taking up inventory space after this. So, use them while you got them.
With other heroes, you would probably save them.
Yes.
But with Sid as a hero, if you have to resort to an HP-based J item to get through whatever is in the chamber, you probably have bigger problems.
Yes. Yeah, very much so.
That is one of the nice parts about Sid, and they're only 200 on that vampire is actually a low roll. That's very nice for Xalde. But yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, that room, Sid makes it pretty easy, makes Ordeals pretty free, and we're going to see the advantage, though, of Potato kind of proving my routing wrong as far as what I was looking at. I think kind of what you were looking at too.
Mhm.
That Gaia drum, that big bomb, those are going to be huge here against this Baigen.
Yeah.
And we may very well see Potato through this fight first, especially now that Tella somehow managed to actually get entangled here. And now Cecil is gone. This is actually kind of scary.
I mean, as long as Sid keeps swinging for 450 a swing, I mean, the nice part is at least the vampire arm is gone. So
That's
at this
true.
point, there you go. That's taken care of, and even if the arm explodes, life goes on.
Yeah, not
So,
pretty, but through, and that's
Yep.
what counts.
Yep. I mean, hey, you know what? Yeah, people lose out on a couple thousand experience. I mean, you don't want to sit there and go redo that fight. Like, no, just get through it and deal with the aftermath afterwards. So,
Yeah, and the one benefit for Zald here is he's going to have a full power Tella to deal with Asura. So he can throw a wall up on her and then maybe Berserk Sid or slap some sort of mage mashing gear on a Cecil and Berserk him and maybe not even have to worry about it. So there's a lot of potential power from Zald here to make Fabul easier. And there's a rat tail. So we know of a legend sword, we know of a rat tail, we know of a pass. CPU kind of ugly.
I mean, okay, time consuming.
Yes.
Let's go with that. It's not just, hey, hold A and pray. It's, you have to target, you have to, spend a little time on this, but I mean, it's, unless you're getting up to, take a bathroom break during this, it's a free fight. So,
Yeah, definitely not going to be difficult. Just going to take a little bit of time. If Potato preserves the Gaia drum, he could definitely make up quite a bit of time on the CPU fight. Gaia drum being able to do 600 to 800 damage to all three targets. So he, if he saves it and doesn't use it on this Baigen, we'll see what happens there. But Zald making quick work. That Poison Axe are really paying dividends for our runners.
And we're through, and Tella gets the upgrade, and all right, we have the old man online. But we don't have underground access, Possum.
That's fine. We have Baron in, we have a hidden sneaky demist, and we have a paladin, as Chad is pointing out. So we have a lot of good stuff from that check. Ordeals really opens up this team. Sid, again, he can run around and bop things all day long. But he kind of falls out of fashion pretty quick, beyond the early to early mid game. So our runners really want to get there, start to think about maybe the hour mark, the 75-minute mark of the seed and how they want to plan for that and see what other characters might be out there.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, with Sid, it's okay. Yeah, he does kind of tail off, unless that flare hammer becomes a reality, and then we might have a slightly different story on that regard. But I mean, in a pinch, still a chemist, and we haven't seen. I don't count Tella as a white mage. I know he has Cure 4. It's not very good, but a stack of Cure 3s. I mean, it's functional, and he's not gonna die. So he's slow, but it could work. I mean, it's not plan A, it's not plan B, but it's functional. Could be a plan C.
It's a plan B minus to C plus for me. I've done plenty of fight on these flags with Yang and Sid as my primary chemist or chemists. It's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
So
You think about the party. I mean, Cecil with a sword, whatever weaponry you have. Sid and the occasional kind of Cure 3 throw out as necessary. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of DPS racing at this point. It's basically hold A until it becomes a problem, and then heal up a little and keep holding A some more. So it works for the early game.
Definitely does.
It will get you into trouble in the mid-late game if that's what you're relying on.
Yeah, we do see here Zald is opting for the wall. Not surprised at all to see this. Only 30 MP from Tella. Going to easily be able to get through this fight. Won't have to worry about life locking. Can pretty much just hold A with Sid and Cecil. and be done in probably 1 or 2 more hits.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely the more, I'm not going to say the more effective strat, but it's definitely the less time consuming strat to be able to put up that wall on the Surus. So,
but all that being said, given the parity that we have seen so far between our runners, other than the one minor play where xalde went up ordeals first, they're 20 seconds apart right now, but xalde has already done menuing, the Potato hasn't. They're both probably going to hit Baron in about the same time here. Very, very close through the first 20 minutes of this one.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at it, obviously we're both in the tournament. We both have matches coming up, but early game with this party, I don't feel like there's a lot they've done wrong. Like this is routing that you would expect out of anybody in the tournament right now.
Yeah, the only thing that I've seen some folks do is make cheeky plays into Baron in because you have Sid and you have Tella. And you want to go pick up that next character as early as possible. Well, this is... Our runners are now very happy they have an upgraded Tella, is all I'm going to say about this.
Yeah, they are, because boy, does this spot hit hard. And this is... Yeah. Okay. So, about doing that Baron in early. Well, I mean, you would have gotten through DKC. But you would have saw this and it probably would have been a reset.
Yeah, especially because, like, the Earth Hammer doesn't do any good here. The Poison Axe would do good, kinda, maybe. I think Tella would have enough MP to blink through it, but the Virus spell here from Tella is actually going to do meaningful damage. Yes. That's going to be far more than any physical is going to hit for here.
Yep, and that's why you're seeing the cover come out here for Tella immediately, because we know who needs to stay alive in this fight, and well, we know who's dead. And well, and we know who else is dead. And okay,
this suddenly not looking so great.
No, this funny. This is actually one of kind of the underestimated spots, really, when it comes to because it's like, all right, so you come here. Yes, it's got 4,000 HP, and you kind of forget, like, this spot, it punches, and it punches hard. So unless you've got a way to shut that down, that kind of occurs.
Yep, that's rough. But maybe lower the battle speed, re-equip some things. I think Potato will make the adjustments here to get through this. Meanwhile, xalde showed us something that makes me a little sad. And that is the gauntlet in Mist Cave. And that means our runners don't need to fight it.
Oh, that's terrible. That's okay. Next time, Possum. Next time. Because you know what I've learned through playing this, this game for as long as I have? There's always an alt gauntlet in the sea.
Yeah, normally it's at Sealed Cave, which I was kind of hoping for, not gonna lie.
Right.
I hate that gauntlet.
I feel like you have issues with vampire ladies and bats. I don't know why.
Yeah. But it does look like we have both runners converging in Baron now. Potato on attempt number 2 for this nasty little Pale Dim. And xalde being up that Mist Cave check is going through and going to be attempting this DKC into Pale Dim as well. So we will be able to see if xalde is able to make up a little bit of time here. Even though, again, he is up that Mist Cave check, our runners are very, very close.
Yeah, very much so.
And we did see one of the pitfalls of using that Earth Hammer on Potato's side, that it is, for whatever reason, we'll call it a feature, not a bug, it deals fire damage. And Pale Dim resists fire, and ice, and lightning.
I hear it doesn't like to be summoned against either. I hear bad things occur on that one, too.
Yeah, but Tella's got float, so that's not a problem.
That is. I mean, Tella has to have the MP to cast float, but that's a future problem. You got to worry about that now.
Yeah, it looks like Potato's much better set up for this now. He's got blinks on Cecil. He's got more defensive gear on him. He's getting the viruses out.
Yeah.
Looks like we might even get a cheeky Poison Axe cast on Pale Dim. Nope,
Nice.
died beforehand. Good use of the viruses there. And there is the Magma Key, and our runners are going to be underground, have access to a Siren, a Tella with Weak, and a Quack Kid that might just want to learn it really early.
And obviously, how happy are they that that was not the hook? The hook
Probably
is a
pretty
character.
happy.
Yeah, but I mean, we all know, and there's even an NPC that tells us that, yeah, hook routes are a thing. Yes, they are.
Yeah, hook routes are indeed a thing, but not a thing we will have to see unless it's like Wyvern into Demist or vice versa. And then the Demist would have something needed. That's always a possibility.
Yeah.
To answer
27 minutes and we're going underground. That's, I mean, for completing everything that we have access to on the over, that's not bad. That's a solid start.
Yeah, definitely a solid start. And to answer a question from chat, the hero is Sid, widely regarded as the maybe not best, but probably most balanced hero because he allows you to do more or less anything you want to.
Yeah, not just that, but I mean, in terms of like, if you're going to play the anchor game, obviously with Sid has so many tools to manipulate agility. It's just, so whether it be an arty bow, a dwarf axe, a cursed ring, I mean, he's got access to a good chunk of what we usually use to get that number where it needs to be. But
yeah, it's one of those things where maybe you need a couple extra levels to get him to like 28 if you want that nice breakpoint. But if you want to keep him as a low agility anchor, yes, very easy to generally get there.
Yeah.
Looks like Xalde did also take a wipe to that Pale Dim, so we do have a little bit of parity as well again with our runners, both having some issues there. So we shall see if Potato is able to pick up any ground once he gets underground. See if he opts for an early Dwarf Castle play, Siren, Fey March, Sheila 1, a ton of different things he can go for. What would you opt to do here, Martin?
Well, I mean, the issue, obviously, that sticks out for me right now is you don't exactly have direction going underground. Like, you have a pass, you have a magma key, you have nothing that's pointing you one direction or another. So, do you gun for the character? Do you feel like this party could handle Dwarf 1 and Dwarf 2? Do you go snag the freebie and Sheila 1, like you said, and kind of see maybe if that points you some way? I look at Potato. I'm not against this. Obviously, the shops, possibly some improved weaponry and or armor for our Sid and Cecil. Especially Cecil, possibly for cover-related reasons. And then between these two key items, figure out, okay, what am I doing now? But personal preference, the character. I love the character. Maybe do a cheeky egg right now and get the Quack Kid online immediately.
Well, or maybe preserve him for a slingshot since we found the darkness crystal.
I'm sorry, we'll reverse 10 seconds, or just kill him off and leave him dead.
Yep,
that works too.
Kind of like that idea now.
Yep, or there.
So remember that thing you said a little while back about Tella and one of his primary functions in this and many lives?
Yeah, we're either doing a D-machine or we're not. That's... Wow.
Oh my.
Rump, I'm so proud of you. That's twice in a row.
No spoilers, Martin. Jeez.
You don't know what other seeds he's rolled.
Fair. That was
twice in a row. We've gotten old D-Dot missed at Leviathan. So,
I mean, look, it's technically possible right now. Potato's got 10 Ether 1s. He's got someone to cast Blink, and he's got Sid and Cecil.
Oh yeah, dual.
Technically possible.
Not the best use of your time in your life.
The old can I versus should I?
Yeah. So, all right. So, to elaborate on your question earlier now, I'm at 4 key items.
Yep.
I'm immediately doing Sheila 1.
Yep.
And hoping it is something that leads to a character.
Well, the
If it
darkness crystal
isn't,
leads to a
I was
character
gonna say,
also.
well, okay, yeah, you can check that too. Hopefully it's not a dupe. I'm looking for any character check at this point. Sand Ruby would be fantastic. If not, yeah, you're checking the character on the moon. If that doesn't play, you probably Spy Dwarf. You need 5 characters. You have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, going to do D money is, yeah. No, just don't.
Yeah.
Unless you have
So
no other option. Please
to
don't.
key everybody in on what we're talking about here, D-money or D-machine grinding, you basically want to focus your efforts on slingshotting 2 characters, ideally 2 characters. You need 5 characters in your party to slingshot. You have to have characters 5 levels below the median level of your party. So for example, if you have 3 people at level 20, you would need 1 or 2 people at level 15 in order to slingshot them. It's more or less a function of catch-up XP. But what you can do is use it in a way that allows you to just take a Palom, for example. That was a really long job dwarf title, and I don't know what it
Environmental
said.
disease analyst.
Thank you, Martin.
Quite welcome.
And so basically with the slingshot, you would take Palom, who normally needs 900,000 experience for nuke, and you do roughly 11 D machines, and you get 450,000 XP, but then it gets doubled. So you're able to get nuke basically by cheating the game because you're able to get double the XP. That's what our runners are likely going to be going for at some point. And what they would really like to do is find a second mage of some sort, like a Rosa or a Porum, maybe a Rydia as well, to slingshot also along with that Palom. And the sooner you do it, the more time you gain from spending that time early on doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And D-machine rant.
Yeah, and fortunately for them, what we won't see, obviously when xalde gets down and gets that darkness crystal, obviously there are ways to manipulate it. Having a brand new character in Palom in the party, obviously, kill him off, leave him on the ground, and your slingshot's preserved.
Yes.
If not, there are ways around it, and it has a lot to do with that siren or 2 you start with, is burning that egg or 2 with certain people alive and certain people dead. Like you said, it's 5 levels. And when you're in, the low mid 20s, an egg can take care of it. And xalde might regret this one.
Yeah, but it's
correctable.
He's going to have a bonus siren. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. You can still end up slingshotting Palom fairly easily.
Oh, yeah.
Also, our runners are going to get a hook, as Potato has now shown us, which is another character check. And a rat tail turnip.
Yeah. So of all the character check items, yeah, it's a double. I'm all right with it. I mean, it's not as quick as a Sand Ruby, but I'll take it.
It looks like xalde may just be going for a more conventional route here of, let me go ahead and get my levels now, and I will worry about a slingshot later, which, depending on how many key items are located early on in the seed, if you can get to 10 key items relatively quickly, then you really don't even have to worry about a slingshot.
No.
So it's very interesting. We might get very diverging paths from our runners here. I know Potato's a big fan of being able to get his levels and go blow up a seed, and I think that's what we are probably going to see on his side.
I mean, like you said, either way makes sense, and especially with this access to the hook now, too. It's like, well, it's a gated character check, and we know what gated character checks include. He could still be in the seed.
Yeah, could be that edge. And then you get sirens on the table, and for that matter, if you have edge from that hook, you probably don't even care about D-machine then, because you're going to get to 10 key items so quickly just leveraging that edge because of how strong he's going to be with all the weapons we have. And oh, hey, the daily double, rat tail,
we don't have to go anywhere. We don't even have to go in the menu for this. It's just like, oh, well, thank you. Here, you may have this now. Well, it's a dart. I don't know. We're missing the 2 characters that's actually useful for.
No, I mean, is Kane really a miss?
Yeah, look, he one-shots eggs with a spear. So in that, yes,
Fair,
I'll
fair.
say he's a miss.
Okay.
So
We do have Zald also picking up his Darkness Crystal, seeing the very rude demist at Leviathan, and we shall see where he opts to go next. Now, he may opt to go to Dwarf Castle, already having the levels on that Palom.
yeah.
So we may get a little more continued divergence from our runners, just based on did you do an egg or two or did you not? And it's very interesting how a little decision like that can change things so dramatically in routing.
Like you said, it's about leveraging firepower. And I mean, you're doing eggs there. Yeah, Cecil's getting HP. You're not improving his weaponry at all. But the kid now has Quack. You leverage that firepower, and you like the mid game all revolves around keeping that kid alive. And well, hi. Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Well,
So
about
that hook route.
That's a thing.
That's an objective. That's
Sure is.
25,000 HP of objective.
Yep.
That's
that
an
is
edge.
true.
That's a lot of weaponry for an edge. That's sirens. That's so many things that just make you go, huh.
And you've got the cover bot in Cecil to make sure Edge stays alive during the entire fight. So, yeah. Yep. So about that old man.
I mean, he's still your white mage right now.
Yeah. He casts Exit, he casts Blink, but I'll tell you what, you find either or of the two, he's gone.
Begrudgingly gone for Porum, but yes, Rosa is instantly in the party.
Yeah. So with that edge, I'm gonna say, really, we're stealing sirens now.
Might be going thirds in a dream.
Yeah.
Which would be very interesting compared to some sort of D machine with a slingshot. I'm interested to see where Potato takes this, because this is not the route I would have expected.
No. I mean, maybe this is just like a small snippet, a little flavor. You know, grab a few, get people up into like, the mid 30s or so, and then turn them loose on the seed. I mean, there are 4 eyeballs you can steal from.
True. And you can always pull them randomly on floor 7 as well as encounters. So it's not like they're the only eyeballs that exist.
Yeah,
but killing off party members kind of tells me that we might be here for the long haul.
Yeah.
Normally you wouldn't kill off party members unless you wanted to steal quite a bit. It looks like Zald, meanwhile, is giving us that Dwarf Castle check, and we have Mylon and friends. Good fight to have Quake for.
Yep, sure is. Yeah, there's a reason why Quack It there is in slot 1, because boy, is it going to get some use.
Yes, it is. They're about, what, 500, 600, 700 on each of those gas, so Mylon itself is going to have about 7,000 at this spot, maybe a little less.
Roughly that range, yeah.
Gonna be a good time for Zald here. Mylon does get a little punchy, but I don't think it's anything Cecil and Tello can't handle.
No, not at all. So, all right. So, where's Potato stopping? Knowing what I know of levels and everything, if he's going 30 in a dream, he doesn't need 30. The kid is base level. Kid will get slingshot off the first egg probably, and then he'll get in line. I'm gonna say 25.
Be about 25, yeah.
25? 25 would be what? 850,000? I think that's short. Let's go 26.
27, 20, yeah. This is why you don't do math on stream, y'all. It just makes you look so silly.
Yeah. I mean, I keep staring at Fried Potato's name, and yeah. English, math, it's difficult stuff.
It's alphabet soup.
It very much is.
Speaking of things that have been turned to soup, there goes Mylon very quickly, courtesy of Quake.
Who's second?
Free.
Oh, there she is.
Oddly enough, completely free. Dupe character is not what Zald wanted to see doing this.
No.
This is one of those spots, though, Val is totally free. She can't do anything about magic. So
No.
you see her here and you go, oh, that's a relief.
Very much so. Yeah, like you said though, that fifth character though, that hurts a little. Not getting a true fifth, but once Xalde starts doing the usual progression of things, very happy to see that edge.
Definitely. And looks like Potato, speaking of edge, is done sneaking sirens.
That was fast.
Didn't catch how many he got, but he might just be opting to do 1 or 2 now, push for 10 key items and do the rest later, or just prove me wrong and go back up above ground and not do any right now. Already did Sheila one.
Oh, did
because that's where he,
right.
he got his hook. Yep.
Yep. Launch a whale. Find the character, possibly replace Tella. Not a reality, but it could happen.
I mean, another interesting thing, Kane with the Dragoon Spear becomes very interesting because it gives you that one shot on eggs you were talking about. Any white mage is good. You're basically trying to dodge Edward and dupes here. That's pretty much it. There's a lot of openness for this party. Speaking of Edward, there's a spoon from Dwarf Castle, so not what our runners want, but it is another key item. So,
well, okay.
And a dart.
Potato would love that because I personally call it the face check dart.
Yeah.
That thing sits in my inventory, and if I'm in full on, I need to find a boss mode. That is a free 10,000 HP of damage that someone's going to get right to the face. So, yes, it's only really viable with edge, but you know, hey, if it exists, I'll use it.
Sure. I mean, leverage every resource possible. And there's some cabins. Runners always love to see camping gear. It is very difficult to come across it half the time. So a welcome sight, I'm sure, for Potato. We have almost simultaneous whale launchings here. Again, given the divergence we've had from our runners and the different choices they've made, basically ever since Antlion and Hobbs, here they come reuniting again with the launch of the Lunar Whale. All right, Martin, moment of truth. Who are you hoping to see here?
You know, I think Rydia becomes a very interesting decision on whether you dump Tella and play Asura strats. I feel like that actually makes you think about it for a second. Because like you said, as long as it's not Edward, they're coming in the party. Like I said, as long as it's not Edward, they're coming in the party.
Whoopsies!
Oops. My bad. And back to Earth we go. Well, look at that. We just save flight time and everything. Ain't that nice?
And I mean, there is a possibility you never have to actually go inside the lunar subterrane. So that character check cutscene that you would normally have to worry about, you might not have to worry about right now. Because we know Evil Wall is hanging out on the hook route. We know Cave Bahamut is not in the lunar subterrane. We already have half the Forge. Luca Key, the other half of Forge or Wyvern, any two of those three is go mode for our runners without ever having to do the lunar subterrane. So the reset actually in this case makes a lot of sense. And looks like we got 16 cabins, 3 short of a good number on Potato's side.
Sorry. Well, I'll deal with that later. He's fine. The more interesting question, and I'm going to pose this one to you, being a well-established member of Free Enterprise and knowing way too much for this game. Looking at the levels, obviously, this will be a moot point here shortly. Cecil's level 9. The kid's level 10. So you have 2 viable characters for a slingshot. What's more valuable to you right now? Doing the sirens or going and doing the D money and getting that boost and putting Cecil and Palom to ridiculous levels?
Well, given how this first egg is going, I think D money seems really, really good right about now. So when eggs go wrong, this is what happens, y'all.
That's true. Boy, this is not a happy day. Wow.
So yeah, that's a Dagron that got really rude.
Well, Ed's got experience.
Yeah,
hey, so we might be using another one of those premium cabins here shortly.
You can just keep on chuckling, Martin. I don't know if you saw what Zald just showed us.
I did not. What was sitting over in a old cave value?
Ha ha ha.
That
Golbez.
it's not that it's bad. Obviously, we know how to defeat Golbez.
Oh, sure.
Golbez does absolutely nothing to help you kill himself in that spot. That's the bad part.
Yeah, that's 37,000 health. You actually have to do 37,000 health.
Yeah.
And you're only going to have 2 characters to do it with. At least from the start. You can life him back up and all that. It's just annoying.
Mm-hmm. I'll say this. If that ends up being required, that dart's going to come in handy. That spoon, Golbez is going to eat that spoon.
100% agree.
Yes.
Well, this is interesting. We have Zald also going tower. This appears to be a keyless tower play pre Sheila 1 turn-in as well.
Interesting.
He's got 2 sirens under his belt.
Yeah.
But this is a very aggressive move. He has not seen the hook route boss yet, though, so he's going to get the information about the evil wall the other way.
That is true. My question becomes, okay, so you do this play, like you said, it's a bold play. But without Sheila 1, I mean, if Sheila 1's the tower key, this is a punish. Absolutely. Or if Sheila 1 happens to be, like we now know, Edge, you're coming back in here again. So it's still a punish. And depending who's up here, if you can't do this fight, ugh.
Yeah, and I do wonder if part of this might also turn into Zald hunting for a Cecil weapon. Maybe trying to leverage the Earth Hammer, or maybe just saying, I want the information, and that's not bad per se. Like, he now knows, again, more time-consuming stuff.
Yeah.
Not that this is difficult for runners of this caliber, but a lot of this seed so far has just been slow, frankly, and there's no way to really avoid the slowness. Some of these fights are just going to drag.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we know, having the Edge with the weaponry that we have access to, he goes through this fight very quickly.
Yes.
And when Potato, decides to make their way up the tower, which may not, depending how things play out. That's anybody's guess at this point.
I think in Potato shoes anyway, you have Edge, you've stolen your sirens already. If you were looking to do a grind before 10 key items, you would have done a grind before 10 key items. Yeah. So I feel like for Potato, he said, I will get some levels now, I'll get the rest of my levels later once I get to 10, but this is my team and I'm comfortable with this. Yeah. In Zald's shoes, it's a little interesting because this is a very aggressive move. This is effectively just a pile of HP, and it's normally not that difficult. But the one problem here is when those 6 bombs come out, if you don't get them quaked early enough, that's a lot of punch.
Yeah, especially those gray ones that punch at the same capacity as the original. The gray ones are the scary ones.
They also have usually twice as much HP as the red ones, so oftentimes they're more difficult to kill. A quake will certainly take care of them here, but that quake has to fire, and that can be a problem as well.
See, this is where it's like, okay, we're gonna throw out a cure, we're gonna get to the kid's turn, and we're gonna sit on the kid. And as soon as those 6 show up, Quack goes out. Just don't fire too early, otherwise.
Yeah.
None of us have done that before. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I've never done it.
Oh.
This week.
Last 24 hours. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Hi.
There is that quake, though. Very well done by Zald to get through this.
All right. Reward?
Well,
I mean,
just in case,
Ed's gonna be. Oh my!
This might be the nastiest, meanest Edge that I have seen all tournament by the time we're going to be done with this seed.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Every bit of weaponry.
What are we missing for engine? Let's see. We saw the
A
black
second
belt
Masa.
tail,
That's
we
it.
saw headband. We saw strength ring. We have his two best weapons. A Zeus gauntlet and a power shirt. I mean, yeah, let's be greedy. Why not?
Sure.
I don't know.
This edge is going to out damage anything but an Xgal or Crystal Sword level Cecil, or in this case Sid, in the Zeromus fight. Like this edge is going to be an absolute monster.
Yep. And I mean, it's great to lean on. I mean, obviously with what we know now, so we know Dwarf didn't really turn up anything. We know the Rat Tail didn't really turn up anything. It's either on the moon or it's D-Dot Mist.
Yes.
Ew.
Well, I'm going moon.
Of course I'm going the moon.
I mean, that's not even a question. Like, D-Mist is, okay, that's cool. I'll clear that when I'm done with almost everything else in the entire seed. I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, if D-Dot Mist is your last option, then, you have to kill it.
Yeah.
But it's not the last option. And boy, would that be a gate if it was. If the entire moon was a dud and somehow this all chained together.
It could.
I'm looking at what's left and if it possibly could be a reality. It'd be close.
I mean, you could have 2 or 3 gating key items, 2 or 3 terminal key items on the moon. And what we mean by terminal, y'all, is things like the package, things like the sand ruby, things like
things that don't lead to something else.
Yeah, things like the adamant rock. Yeah. But every other chaining key item could be stuck behind a D-Mist. Yeah.
This.
Or you end up with D-Mist that has the Luca key, that has the adamant rock, and you go clear everything else.
Yeah.
And then you come back and you're at an hour 45, and you just go, huh? All right. Well, I guess we both did it.
At that point, you full clear the moon. Boy, do you have levels for that D-Dot Mist, but that's got to burn. Knowing that when you come back, like, oh, really? Like this?
Yeah. Now, the other interesting thing is Potato is still sitting on a couple Sirens. Does he opt for some, gold dragons, warlocks, some sort of additional grind, or does he just go and try to take on the moon?
Well, the issue, you're at 7.
Right.
I feel like Potato obviously doing as much as Potato's done in ladder, kind of understands the mechanic of, Sirens and exactly how many I need with 10 key items to get to, very large spell levels. So yeah, he might have 2-3 extras that he could burn, but he's going to hold on a good chunk of those probably for 10 KIs. So either that, or if he doesn't get there, the moon's going to give him a good chunk of this. So yeah, I to your point, yeah, I could see him doing. You have Tella, so you have a source of mute. You could do a couple sets of warlocks. You have a mute knife, so they die quickly.
Yeah, you also have Quake.
Yeah, that's power of Quack.
Ooh, I think I see something spicy happening.
Oh,
we're getting xalde outside of Eblin Castle.
Oh, are we going hunting for a shtick?
We might be. Yeah.
This is my forte right here. This is tier 8 goodness, and yes, the Xgal and Crystal Sword, they are tier 8 for a reason. It is a 10% shot to hit in a trap chest, so add the 3 together, do a little math. I know math is hard. It's not 30%. It's more like 27.1 some ungodly amount of numbers. Probably about the same amount of numbers in Potato's name.
He has no numbers in his name, Martin.
1 in 4 shot of hitting a nice stick for Cecil on here.
Definitely. Yeah, and I mean, worst case scenario, in a lot of situations, nice heroin robe, by the way, you end up with like defense swords, as Chad is pointing out, or power shirts, or Zeus gauntlets, or lightbringers, not lightbringer, lightsabers. Excuse me.
There you
Yeah, finding a Lightbringer in a chest, that'd be neat. Uh, but that's the type of thing, like, there's a lot of good stuff you can get.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm a fan of this play. I mean, yeah, it's gonna cost you a couple minutes if you're wrong. So be it. But I mean, you look at what you get out of these chests, and tier 7, tier 8 wise, Cecil can use a lot of these.
Yeah, he definitely
So,
can. Xalde is about to learn a very unfortunate lesson here. Can't toad Mad Ogres.
no, you cannot.
You would think, oh, you can size them. Oh, you can stop them. Oh, they're not bosses. Well, you're right. They're not bosses. But they can't be toaded for whatever reason. You can do just about anything else to them, but not toad.
They must have had a bad experience back in the past and just somehow, yeah.
So maybe they didn't.
Do it and,
They weren't, toting the company line or something like that, and they just got kicked out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'll let that one fly. So, hey, we got our first look at the Ribbon Room. 42,000 HP of what? What do we want to see here?
Oh,
well, that's a thing.
Yeah, that's a wyvern.
Yep,
and it
sure
casts sleep, and it now also puts potato, an adamant rock, or a Luca key away from go mode.
Yeah.
Now this is not really where you want to see wyvern.
No.
Because this is about to get ugly.
Literally anywhere else would have been great, but hey,
but you found your objective.
Yeah, the game sometimes just it doesn't want to cooperate. So
I think that's a very smart reset from potato. Not willing or really wanting to go toe to toe with wyvern for like 12 years and maybe get through the fight, dropping down the battle speed, going to get through this now. I think this is a very wise choice. I'd like both of our runners' choices, actually. Like, I think a big stick for Cecil is important here, and hunting for your objectives on the moon also important. And there goes that spoon you wanted for Golbez.
There you go. Well, that's zonk number 2. Yeah, and obviously, you have wyvern up here. You have a pass.
Yeah.
And that you look at your other objectives here. Yeah, you have Cave Bahamut that you have to deal with. Your other objectives are in all reality, they're on Earth. As you're clearing the rest of the moon in the process and maybe tripping on the adamant or something along those lines. I mean, you have to go beat that wall probably. And it's on Earth. So do this, find whatever other item you need. You're not coming back here.
Yeah, not of your own volition anyway.
Yeah, that's
like maybe there's, I don't know, what a ruby at Ogopogo that has the Luca key that has the adamant rock. Like maybe that's a hard gate because that would be disgusting.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
There's 3 zonks though. Artemis arrows, not what Xalde was looking for out of the adventures in Eblin Castle.
No. I mean, Artemis is tier 7, so I mean, it obviously hits something in there, just not the thing in there, so.
Yeah, I mean, picked up 2 tier 7s, picked up a Moonveil, picked up Artemis arrows. The Artie arrows will definitely help with wyvern. The Moonveil will definitely help with Demist, as Chad is pointing out. Should our runners have to take such awful things on, it could also just help with a fight on the moon. But we'll have to see how this plays out for our runners.
Yeah, I mean, I would not object to a Moonveil. Obviously, finishing the game with a Moonveil in your inventory kind of hurts. So I would love for it to be used on something that warrants it, but I'd like to have one in my inventory just for such an occasion. So.
You can always set up the manual reflect kill, if you will, by reflecting a Moonveil onto Zeromus, so your Zerkers keep the Q clogged, but they stop actually dealing damage, and you reflect the remaining like 20,000 damage and just win that way.
And we've seen it done. It's a thing.
Meanwhile, speaking of seeing things done, we are seeing wyvern done on Potato's side, very nicely done in that fight. And let us see what we are rewarded with That is an elixir and a tower key.
Okay. Okay. I mean, obviously we know the top of tower is Hanzo, but this at least, I mean, when Potato goes back to Earth, if the answer is not up here, that's direction.
It's kind of annoying though, because it's the type of fight that it's super easy, but it's got a cutscene.
Yeah, that's true.
It's annoying.
Yeah, we know it's not Golbez there.
True.
So, unfortunately, Golbez is right in front of another objective. So, hey.
Well, and the lunar shuffle is on.
Yeah.
We have located the lunars.
Hi.
So,
okay. I look at this party.
Yes.
We're not doing 28,000 HP at 14k a piece here, I don't think. You could. I guess if you flat out target one, but now you're in full-on fire mode, and you're probably going to end up dead as a result of it. Do you just stick out the 5 turns and just go for Frog and finish it?
Well, you would ideally want Cecil in the back row for that.
Mm-hmm.
And after the fires happen, you just kind of have him cover everybody and then have Tella start throwing walls on people.
Yeah.
And go from there. It's going to be kind of ugly, but it's doable. Also, there is a happy little defense sword, I believe, from the Staleman.
Hey.
That'll be nice for that Cecil. And Xalde going to see this edge and probably be pretty happy about this, given the weaponry that he has. And I wonder if with his levels, he's just going to dive this right now.
Would not surprise me. The other question, obviously, for Xalde's side is, okay, this came from Sheila 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an hour and 2 minutes in, and I am now following up on Sheila 1.
Mm-hmm.
Does that scare me at all?
It would definitely scare me.
Like, what's my opponent done? How long has he had edge? How many sirens has he stolen? And am I in that mode where it's like, okay, I need to, I'm not gonna say do something silly, but maybe do something a little outside the norm?
Yeah, I think you have to start considering, and it's bad, honestly bad advice to tell people you have to play like you're behind. You have to really think about, am I actually behind or not?
Yeah.
Based on what I've done and based on what I've seen, do I feel like what I have done so far, even if I waited to get this edge, do I feel like I'm that far behind? I don't know that you feel like you're more than a couple minutes behind, and Xalde hasn't, other than one Baron in wipe to paled him, had any major stumbling points. And both runners had that wipe to paled him in Baron 2. Yep. So from that perspective, there's runner parity. But in the moment, I wonder if Xalde is going to start thinking, the more and more I whiff on these chests, the more and more I fall behind, and the more and more I need to do something silly. It's going to be very interesting to see how the route progresses from here.
Yeah, and to your point, you say, it's only been a couple minutes, but I mean, we both know a couple minutes, that's enough time to steal 15 sirens in a couple minutes, and we know what that turns into. So, yeah, these are things that go through runners' heads. Like, am I in trouble? Or, okay, I just need to keep playing my game and let the cards fall where they may. Hey, look, there's a frog. Oh, hey, look, there's another frog.
Yeah, but not the 2 frogs you want to see. Now,
please hit the right character here. There is a correct way to get through this.
Yes, that's what I was going to say is...
It's not hitting the dragon.
Right.
Please don't hit the dragon.
Bop the frog.
Yes. Or this is going to go sideways. So. And I missed it. What was the prize from the ogres? Did you see it?
I also missed it. I was focused on the lunar frogs that were happening. Based on the lack of reaction from chat, though, I'm going to assume it was something that was worthwhile of a lack of reaction.
Strength ring. Tier 4 goodness. Amazing.
Wait, I thought strength ring was tier 5. You're blowing my mind here.
Is it 5? I don't know.
I thought it was.
Look, it's bad.
You're not wrong. It's not good.
It's not a stick.
It does help with all that edge gear, though.
Yeah.
This starts to get a little scary for Potato.
Yeah.
We have
solo
a
lunar. This is basically they have one mode. It's called I'm going to fire until you die.
Yeah.
And Tella needs to get probably the heal off and
got the heal off on 2 people anyway. Do we have any darts left? Because this seems like a decent time to dart. We don't really
anything. The Dragoon Spear is gone, so yeah, don't bother reviving Cecil here. That's not gonna work. Keep edge here for Zerk edge and pray you get through, but he's gonna get maybe 2 swings out of this.
Yeah, he was taking 357, which means he's out after 2 hits, but Potato is through. That was a bit of a clencher there, but yeah, makes it through, gets through the D-Lunars, and is rewarded with an Earth Crystal. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's without having to hunt trap chests, also a chance at a shiny stick for Cecil.
Okay. You know where Wyvern is. It's dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know where the wall is.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously know what's at Bahamut.
Mm-hmm.
You have a tower key and an earth crystal that you can chase, and you're at 9 key items.
Mm-hmm.
You have no reason to spy the other locations unless they are absolutely free. That once again, this goes to the, do I feel like I'm behind? If so, do I make a cheeky play? Do you scum them? Or do you check all these first?
I think if you get one more, you do. If you get the Baron key, if you get the Twin Harp, if you get the Pan, obviously if you get the Luca key, I think you dip out at that point. I don't know about 2. Again, especially like with Earth Crystal and Tower, they're fairly long checks as far as time. Earth Crystal, though, does give you the potential of a White Mage, and that is pretty big.
Yeah, that is. Things that are also big, this fight for one very specific reason. Why could that possibly be, Possum?
Because the second phase here is the most disastrous thing known to mankind at this spot. Yeah. Because that Ruby will deal not just a little bit of damage, but all of the damage. And we might be about to get happy fun time here.
Yep,
because
here comes phase 2.
Here we go. This needs to go quick, or else Potato's party is going to go quick.
Yep.
There's a fire 2 that is 600 damage.
And if the second one doesn't kill you, boy, what's next will.
And here's fire 3. I think Sid lives. I was wrong. So if y'all have never had the pleasure of fighting the Ruby phase of elements there, that's why you don't.
Nope. Like, you'll see, like, for anybody in the chat that's watched enough of this, you'll see elements in certain spots where runners will set up, and they'll basically do enough damage to get it to shift phases, but have an Ice 3 floating to finish off Ruby before that happens. Yeah, you just saw what happens if it doesn't go that way. So, ow.
And yeah, meanwhile, also having an adventure, because rude things have been put in rude places. There is the wall, brother. Yeah. Thankfully, Sid only taking 180 damage, not bad at all. There's a nice free fight, yeah.
That's nice. Do we go for the off-slot stone here?
I would consider the off-slot fatal, if only he had it.
Just go for the back one, let them beat themselves up. I like your style.
If only he had it.
That's true.
This is one of those fights, though, where if you had 10 key items, and you had someone with fatal, or you had coffins, or you had, things like that, you would be able to actually life to the officer.
But, Possum, I thought the life glitch was off.
The life glitch is off. but Life 2 doesn't revive them with zero vitality. Life 2 revives them at full health. So the Life 2 grind is a really interesting way to get around the no life glitch flag on this flag set.
That's clever.
A crystal shield. Honestly,
The value.
not the worst. Potato says I'm good though.
Okay, all right. So this is where I disagree with that reset. You are literally at the point where it's an extra 7 seconds to sit through that and cast Exit with Tella. And you reset out of it even though it's a viable armor for Cecil. Why?
I think part of it might be he was at full health before the fight, and he's not at full health now, and he's got all his sirens, and the crystal shield, I mean, he probably doesn't ultimately care about the crystal shield. I think he has an Aegis shield already, which is good enough. But I agree, I would have kept the XP there. I can see the reasoning not to though. Like I can logically get it. Not what I would have done, but I can get it. Xalde is through the evil wall though. That is objective number 5 on the board. So we are now evened up at 1 objective apiece, albeit vastly different objectives in vastly different places. But Xalde being able to get through that evil wall at lowish levels here, very well disciplined fight there and very good job. And oh hey, this is slightly easier than, well, that Elements at the the Ogopogo spot.
Yeah, just a little bit. All right, couple free bosses out of the pool. So, which is, I mean, we know what we need to do is it's Luca and a rock at this point. So, and Golbez, but we'll worry about that one later.
Golbez is a future runner problem. It is not a now runner problem.
Speaking of now runner problems, I have concerns, Possum.
Why is that?
Because I'm seeing where Xalde is walking right now, and I have concerns.
If I recall, there were drain spears for sale somewhere. I don't know if it's here. I don't know if it's somewhere else. But if you can get a stack of drain spears, or you can use the moon veil, as Chad is pointing out, there are many ways through this fight. They're not going to be quick ways through this fight, but there are many ways through.
So the setup for this fight is actually very nice. The fact that you literally just walked on damage tiles the entire way down puts you pretty much in full-blown cover mode. So the idea of this fight is literally to get that moon veil up on Cecil, and then just start doing damage to everyone else. And that's the entire fight. That's it.
Yeah, and regret to inform chat, the spoon was already chucked at, or no, excuse me, for Potato was chucked at Wyvern. Xalde still has the spoon, but might also want that spoon later for Wyvern. But, you know, our runners are dealing with, like, Golbez at Value Cave and D-Mist here in the Fey March and Wyvern at the Ribbon. Like, you want 4 darts here. Also, ow.
Yeah, it hits really hard, one. The good part is, because it goes to Mist Phase, you have time to recover. All you have to do is get Cecil to the point he can cover and get the veil up. After that, you have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, get the Cure 2, let him throw the moon veil, and we're there.
There you go. Well, he's through. We'll check back in on Xalde in about 5 to 7 minutes.
8 minutes.
This is one of those, just kind of put it in the oven, let it go. And interestingly enough, Potato going after this Golbez before grinding. Wow. I figured with those sirens, he might decide not to do this. So here we go. And yeah, we get 2 very interesting. And again, what this seed has just prevented to us, courtesy of Harumph, who's doing a great job with the restreaming, and Bathis tracking this monstrosity as well. Just a lot of slow fights in awful places.
Very much so. So yeah, 37,000, ironically, on the same 37,000 HP in both spots, Possum. Small world.
Well, a little less for Golbez because Shadow takes like 14 of it.
Chunk of it.
Yeah, it's like 36,984 or whatever.
It's going to feel more like 60,000 when Golbez starts casting and does nothing. And you're like, really? I have to go through all of this right now? This is horrible.
Well, I think the Lit 3s still do like 600, I want to say. But
they do phenomenal amounts of damage.
The other two don't matter.
The big thing is, look at the two characters that are alive, though. That's nice.
The fact that
is huge.
yeah, the fact that Edge is one of them. Oh
yeah.
Goodbye, other character.
Okay, well, there's the first.
Ooh, that was more damage than I expected. Wow. Okay.
So yeah, Edge can carry this fight. You just have to be careful that your veil doesn't drop in an inopportune moment. Because
we have
possible. You know what? If you eat one of those viruses in a lit 3, you'll die.
So you're saying this fight ends one of two ways?
Yeah. Either it's a reset or we have an objective complete.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. So if you deal enough damage to kill the boss, you kill the boss.
Golbez will go away.
Oh, cool.
You might even get a script out of it too.
Why?
It could happen. little.
Anyway, back to Xalde. I know we said we weren't going to check in for a couple minutes, but we have both runners doing things that we don't want to check in on for a couple minutes. So here we are.
D.Mist is still alive.
And also Golbez.
Oh, did the veil oh yeah.
Edge's veil is gone.
Veil is down.
Yeah.
Okay, this is dangerous. This is why you can't hold A through this fight. Especially when your DPS is, well, kind of Edge. I mean, that hammer's still, now both veils are down. You need to, this could go bad.
This just went bad.
That just went really bad, because I don't think Sid gets a turn before it fires.
Ouch. Yeah, it's still tough there.
Yeah.
Golbez, yeah, he's rude. He doesn't deal enough damage to kill himself.
No.
And you don't deal enough damage to kill him before one of the veils run out because of all the health.
You know, as a broadcaster, you hate to see it. You do.
No.
It feels bad. Because, I mean, we've all been there, and you see that. And then you get through just fine the second time, and you're like, wow, I really could have done that the first time.
Martin, I've wiped to every boss in almost every spot. I love it when other people have to share.
You're one of the, like, yes, share in my pain. Yes.
Yes. But we do see here Xalde entering minute 4, and actually, there goes D-Mist. Let's see.
Okay, so we know this isn't a key item.
But it could be a big shiny sword.
Yeah, it could. It is possible.
It is not a big shiny sword. In fact, we just have a Tella who can use it, which is, I guess, a thing.
D.Mist ate Foo, is what we're saying. And that's all that was left.
Basically.
Okay.
D.Mist was like, here's the leftovers.
I was going to say, I'll pour one out for Foo. Obviously, Lunar Staff's not digestible, so here's to you, Foo. Well played.
It looks like we have a Tomra shop check. I do not remember here, but I believe Xalde does.
Yeah, what are you looking for here?
I mean, strength rings, not bad.
I mean, okay, so you have 90 grand, right? Obviously, you'd love to hold on to it in case, the adamant rears its head. Because boy, do we love those shops. But what is that? Do you even cross your mind of maybe buying like the Dragoon armor? Just something to give us a little more viability on the cover side of things? I mean,
definitely possible. Also, shout out to Xalde for the hour and 20-minute job dwarf check.
Hey. Man of the people.
Definitely. We have...
Possum, this is where I'd read my post-it note.
Yes, your post-it note that says check D-Mist.
Yeah, I would go check that right now before I forgot.
You see the difference, though, Martin, is your post-it note would have also said make sure to land in the spot that you can't land in when you're trying to go back up from the underground.
Or at least please, oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Also, please save before you do that, because, yeah, if this is exactly the package, this is why you don't come in from the left.
And you have exit. Not as big a deal here.
Eh.
Oh my heavens. It is the Luca key from D-Mist.
That thing.
Harumph, you absolute monster.
And if Luca is adamant,
yeah, if Luca's adamant, this is a done deal.
Okay.
I mean, I shouldn't call it that early, but if Luca is adamant, I am adamant. Right. This is over.
Okay, so let's go a different route here. Luca is not adamant.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it's the Sand Ruby. Okay, you're at 9 key items. You have edge. Do you finish your objectives? Get the 10th key item via the crystal, and then do your siren grind? Or do you just say, the heck with it, I'm getting everything I need now, and then I'm going to go to the moon, I'm going to blow up what I need to, and I'm going to finish this?
I think since you know that Golbez is there, I think you go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
It's awkward, but it's not like it's going to be much less awkward pre-grind or post-grind, or it's still just always going to be awkward. That Golbez is just annoying. And I mean, speaking of, Potato is through that Golbez. Does have objectives 1 and 2 on the board. Also knows where objective 5 is. Yep. Potato is in an adamant rock and Luca key hunt. Yeah. We know D-Mist obviously has this Luca key, and xalde knows that. And xalde also knows Potato and most other people on this planet have not done that D-Mist.
I was wondering if we were going to get a treasury, and I agree with the fact the answer is no.
I might have speedrun it and just held the R button down, basically, and only gone back for like 2 or 3 chests that are really good.
We know where the DPS is coming from in your part. You have a defense sword. I mean, the only things
I would
want would be either like an armor for Cecil, the amazing tier 8 1% shot, or maybe something for the kid like a Stardust Rod or some sort of thing to help the kid out a bit, but that's it.
Yeah, you're also kind of looking for like power shirts, Zeus gauntlets. There's a lot of stuff you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, 6s, I don't know the exact percentage on 6s. I want to say that it's like the 10-12% range for a 6 in the treasury. So
I think it's like 17 or almost 20. I think it's pretty high for 6s. All right, a Baron key is a chase. Yeah. So we might have delayed adamant here. We don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see what fresh heck awaits our runners here in the sealed cave. And that is no heck at all. That is Edge saying thank you for the objective.
All right. So you have a Baron key. You're out. I mean, obviously, with what we know that's on the moon, Baron key has a pretty decent shot of being a KI.
We're still waiting on the Pan, the Ruby, the Twin Harp, and the Adamant Rock, correct?
Yeah.
And we've only faded elements. So, Earth Crystal, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty decent odds. Like, that puts you at 10. And maybe a character to swap out Tella, even though we know it's probably a dupe, but...
Yeah, but if it's a Rosa, if it's a Porum, I mean... You are super happy if that's the outcome.
Yeah, any character not named Edward.
Pretty much.
Spoilers, it'll be an Edward.
Down goes Leviathan on Potato's side, and also, very important, who are these 2 characters? That's not what you want to see for the first one.
That's not a great start. I'd be okay with the, instead of Super Kid, I'd be okay with the green-caped one instead.
Yeah, so would I.
Yeah.
I know. Shocking.
Did that hurt to say?
It didn't feel great.
Okay.
Well, that is the Tower of Naught, as opposed to the Tower of Zot.
Yeah.
Ew.
I mean, you could have left him under the cannonball. I don't think he would have been missed. I don't know. Somewhere Asuka's ears are ringing, and I'm in trouble.
If only the spoon were equipable, Edward would be in both parties.
No. Actually, I was thinking about
one
this.
can wish.
What if Ed's heal command could actually use a Cure 3 instead of Cure 1?
That would actually be kind of decent then.
Yeah, like that. Wouldn't that be a thing? I'd be okay with that.
Also, good for our runners not having to do this fight really early on, because the Magus sisters here are disgusting.
Yes.
Thankfully, they have levels in health, and it's not going to be a problem. But early on, this fight can make mincemeat out of a team. Those reflected spells do a ton of damage.
Yeah, Mindy has a field day in this spot. It's not nice. Mindy is kind of like not nice in most of the spots. Like I'm not
or
a fan
most
of Mindy
most of the games.
Yeah.
But unsurprisingly, Xalde is all about this Baron. He's following that gamble. Knows that he spent a lot of time on that Demus, got paid once, can he get paid twice? Looks like just a Leviathan orb for Potato. That is not what you want to see. If you are in Potato's shoes right now, that's a little bit of a nervous check, because you got no characters out of it, you got no key item out of it, and you spent a decent amount of time. So we are now going to see the full tower check, I believe, from Potato, because he did not do keyless, correct?
Right. The one thing on Xalde's side that I want to mention, check the Baron shops. There is a ninja shirt for sale. And when you have a party that you're staring down a white mage named Tella, anything that can save you from Big Bang's damage is a good thing.
It's true.
So, depending on what character is in Baron here, I wouldn't be surprised to see you go back and buy one for that exact reason.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to have money left over, you're going to want your threes, and you're going to want stuff that makes you live. And ninja shirts make Edge live.
Yeah.
They were once a meme, and they are not anymore. People understand now how good the defensive capabilities are of said ninja shirt. Chat bringing up a very good point. Elements at Ogopogo spot definitely going to be burning a hole in Potato's mind.
Yeah, very much so. Someone mentioned earlier, and I want to say, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, it was Air. Reflected Fire 3s also make that fight. Yeah, you have to deal with the punch-in power because that spot has both. But 2 Reflected Fire 3s pretty much end that fight as well. So...
yeah, and if not 2, then you can just do something very marginal to push that second phase anyway. Hey,
not on the moon. So
but
sad.
Came from a key item on the moon, so I will consider that moon adjacent in this case and allow it.
Fair. That's fair. I'll allow it.
Oh wait, no, it didn't come from the moon. It came from Demus. You know what? Demus and Leviathan might as well be the moon. I'll allow it. I'm okay with that.
But D-Dot missed 8 Fu, and Fu came from the moon.
Okay.
Yeah.
This timeline checks out.
Yeah, it just tagged along with Fu. So yeah, we're good.
There goes Antlion, unsurprisingly and unceremoniously on Xalde's side. While Antlion is shaking and quivering and falling away, we have 2 very important things to remember here. 1, Potato's about to get that masa, and that's going to help his edge. 2, Xalde's about to get a character, and that character is Tella. And that is not the character that Xalde wanted.
Bright side, it's not Edward. Bad side, it's still a dupe.
So we're working with what, distinct 6 here?
Well,
more or less.
It's our character is going to be on the giant. We all know this. We're all staring it in the face like it's going to be a reality. But
yeah, Martin, I just gotta say it. This is fun. I am enjoying the seed. I doubt our runners are.
If you put me on comms and let Harumph roll these all the time, boy, are we in happy places. Let me tell you.
Now let's see if either of our runners going to be in a happy place anytime soon. Xalde getting the adamant, oh my goodness, hard required demist at Leviathan. Harumph,
You
you
have done it
absolute
again.
monster. I don't know if you can hear me clapping, Harumph, but this clap is for you, friend.
I was gonna say, you know, we talk about metaing runners and things like that. How about metaing the seed roller? Is that a thing?
I guess Zal did his homework, but it wasn't on Potato.
Yeah.
Zal did his homework on Harumph.
So this leads us to two very amazing things, Posum. One, we get three actually. One, we get to rob the old man. Two, we get to see what's in the Ford shop. And three, what flavor of amazing is it? Oh, wow, nice shot.
That's all the mage stuff for all the mages we don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, get your predictions out in chat. Is it going to be the Gigant Axe? Is it going to be Sid's Excalibur, the Thor hammer, or Thor whatever it is? Or is it going to be everybody's favorite big bada boom stick or hammer, the flare hammer?
I'm telling you right now, if it's the axe, I'm stealing the axe.
Oh yeah, the axe goes on Cecil.
Sid's getting an Artemis bow, and everything is going to get murdered in very bad ways.
Oh, my favorite.
That's a bonk hammer right there.
Crystal Sword Plus. Let's go.
Oh boy. If y'all haven't seen what Sid does with that hammer, it's words that are as long as Potato's name that
those numbers come out.
Yeah.
Ooh, music for Potato. That is absolutely not what he wants to see. That's what chat wants to see, because I mean now they get music. I'm torn. I don't know how I feel about it. I'll just have to simmer here and kind of think.
Possum, what do you always say? You commit to the plays.
Oh yeah, you have to commit to the play.
If you're gonna keep going with it.
Yep, you got to commit to your gambles. Zald committed to your gambles.
Yeah.
And look where he is. He's in go mode.
Yeah. I think this might burn a little for Potato if this ends up being the pan, and the pan is a double song. That would be
the thing for Potato that's got to be frustrating right now is knowing that Elements is out there still at the Ogo spot.
Yeah.
Knowing that D-Mist is out there, and knowing that he's effectively been one check away from go mode for about 40 minutes now. Whenever that Wyvern, maybe it was 25 minutes, but
that's why we play the game. I mean, eventually we usually we get to that mode where it's like, hey, I'm literally one check away, and I pick your poison. Either, it's John Madden. Hey, you're right or you're wrong.
I mean, and you can be right, and it can still be the wrong thing for the seed.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of this goes all the way back to when we saw Zald initially take 2 silence when he went underground, did Dwarf Castle, committed to the bit of not going to the moon, and said, I will clear everything down here, and I will die by that moon. Live or die by that moon. But enough about me. I think we need some from a bard here. All right, well, that was some harp music.
Yeah, it
And
was.
that is the pan.
Why
You
did I have
witch.
to? I'm sorry.
You witch, Martin. Why would you do that to Potato? Hasn't he been through enough?
Mm, commit to the bit, right, Possum?
Potato's gonna want to be committing to a lot of other things by the end of this one,
Yeah.
though. uh,
Right.
we'll
So,
just call it Bacchus wine. That's what we'll name it.
yeah, yeah. Which obviously is a wonderful thing. Someone was asking in chat earlier about like it's gonna be an interesting Z fight with agility and obviously Sid being our anchor. There's two ways around this. We actually have one of them in the party. The second one involves that Artemis bow. We know most of us that race the game understand where Sid's agility is going to be, probably in the 50 range. So something like an Artemis bow will put him above the 28 threshold to the point the fight should be more or less tolerable. The other half is agility may not matter very much when you have Edge can steal Bacchus wine and you have not one, not two, but three characters that are all really gonna love the sip of wine for Z.
Yeah. The other thing is, again, with the flare hammer being, Crystal Sword Plus, you're sitting there basically looking at it like, okay, or think of it like a spoon, but with someone who has all the strength. Shiny sword.
That's a yep. That's well. Is that consolation prize? Like I don't know.
It's a thing that makes you feel good until
Yeah.
this pan check turns into something that makes you feel bad again.
Yeah. Right.
Because this is either the sand ruby or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Potato has a decision, and that decision is, do I go do elements or do I go do demist? And I'm almost certain that decision becomes I go do demist because I think my opponent's done if it's elements at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much so. And
Or-
also, I mean, it doesn't hurt. You're already on Earth, so you save the flight time anyways. Like.
Yeah. Do we know who's in bed?
No. Nobody has looked.
Well, it's a ninja star, so it doesn't matter.
And there's the Zonk.
Yep, that's a feels bad man right there.
Which means we should know where the Sand Ruby is then. Sand Ruby is sitting behind elements.
Sure is.
Yeah. So.
Meanwhile, Xalde is also now playing the game of fun with eggs, but having a little bit more fun with them than Potato had with his first.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Demas coming up for Potato. Unfortunately for him, he still has quite the chain left.
Yeah.
In order to get there. I mean, it's Demas to the turn-in to Luca, which would effectively give him his go mode, but then he would have to decide, do I chase the Baron key or do I go do the evil wall where I know it is already there? Whereas Xalde is already in the I'm going to grind and go to Zeromus mode. It's going to take a number of wipes at this point for Potato to catch up.
Yeah.
Again, don't want to call races early, but that Demas gamble that Xalde made, absolutely beautiful for this particular seed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and how much we call it a gamble, and yeah, in all reality, it doesn't make a lot of sense to do that fight. No, there's plenty of other things you could be doing. A Moonveil makes it free,
right?
And at that point, it's all right. Where's my DPS, and how many mischanges am I gonna have to sit through to get through this?
Right.
I mean, it's no worse than doing D.Mist on the moon sitting at the Ribbon Room. Except, obviously, Punch is a lot harder, but Moonveil takes care of that.
Yeah, I think it's more about the willingness to do the trap chest to look for the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Gave the Moonveil, which gave Xalde the ammunition to clear literally everything on Earth.
Yeah.
And said, if it's on the moon, I will die by it.
Yeah.
If it's not on the moon, I will live by it and I will be set free. And Xalde was set free. So it was, I would say even an extended gamble, because the chests are not a guarantee, right?
No.
You have Edge, who's going to be doing a ton of damage. But in his case, he didn't know he had that edge and opted to go in there first before even checking the character. So to me, it is a bit of an extended gamble, but I don't hate it. And he leveraged the items he got beautifully from it. Yeah. You're never going to find a better use for the Moonveil.
No, for a fight like this, no, not at all. And this once again reinforces the reason for obviously all of us that know the Moonveil was moved up a tier. It used to be tier 6. It's now tier 7. There's a reason why, and y'all just saw it. Like, the power of that item can't be understated.
It also reemphasizes another key point, that even without his shiny swords, Cecil's still a really good job.
Yeah. Yeah, that
cover strats.
I mean, you can't duplicate it, you can't imitate it. It's
Yeah, and so Xalde doesn't know that Wyvern is at the Ribbon Room. Probably would take Wyvern there if he knew it was exactly there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, gonna have to have fun with Golbez time, which is in fact not actually fun.
No,
but it is Golbez.
I would say there's one caveat to that, though. I hear Golbez is allergic to flare hammers.
Well, most things are allergic to flare hammers.
Like that's about everything in the game. Short of like Pale Dim, but even then, boy, is that still gonna hurt.
Yeah, oh no, I'm only hitting for 2,500, not 8,000. Whatever am I gonna do?
First world problems. Yep, that's free enterprise right there.
Speaking of first world problems, Tella and Cecil here trying to blink and cover, having problems keeping up with the bevy of punches coming out because Potato doesn't have that Moonveil, has to rely on blink, and when Cecil is in HP critical himself, he's not covering.
No.
Barely able to get over the 25% mark, so Cecil's going to be covering again, which is good, but still pretty awkward. Xalde taking a pair of gold dragons. I think probably to get nuke on the kid for this Golbez fight, which will in fact expedite things quite a bit.
Yeah, very much so. And well, like we said, Sid with a flare hammer does some very mean things here too. So also Tella with weak.
Yeah.
Useful.
Weak's pretty good.
Yeah. You know what else is good? 120,000 experience. And that nuke spell here does some things sometimes. Yeah, I don't know if Potato's gotten out a couple slows yet on this D-Mist, but I mean, anything at this point to slow that thing down. This thing may not have the agility of the right spot, but it's still fast. And it can cause you some problems if you're not ready for it.
Yeah, it'll cause a lot of problems for a lot of folks in a lot of places.
Yeah, I mean, at least obviously, it's 3 bonks, and then you get your reprieve of, great, I get to wait for 3 more here. Also, yeah, we've all done that before too. Accidentally hit an attack on a D.Miss phase. Or have
it'll be fine.
Lurk and have a D.Miss. It's a thing.
Martin, I assure you that Potato is not going to spend like 2.5 or 3 minutes hitting D-Mist 28 times. 34 times.
Oh, it was 28. Yeah, okay. It's a number.
Xalde, meanwhile, 2 perfect characters to live here. Gets his Cecil and gets his nuke kid here. Just spent that time to get nuke, and yeah, good stuff. We have, I believe that is Swag Tella as a new free Enterprise emote.
What?
I don't know what it is, but I like it. And speaking of things I like, Potato also threw his D-Mist fight.
Hey! I mean, the reward, what comes afterwards? I think what comes afterwards is actually really gonna hurt.
Oh, you mean the lunar stuff?
Oh, after Lunar Staff.
The Lunar Staff.
Yeah, no, turning in.
Oh, the Luca key.
Yeah,
See,
that one.
I got them
That one, and
confused
then
because
what
they start with
leads to.
LU.
Yeah.
Xalde, Golbez down.
Yep.
That is going to be go mode. That is the crystal. We are likely going to see Xalde on his way. And
Yeah.
yeah, because we know it's more
It's a
Hanzo or
dart.
fake Hanzo.
It's a terrible dart, but it's
Yeah,
a
it's
dart.
not a good dart.
I know, it's a horrible dart.
But yeah, I think we've got levels. I think we've got weapons. Do we have enough Bacchus? Do we have any Bacchus?
Xalde was late in getting. I'm thinking. Never. Actually, no. Did the ogres on the way to doing the wall? So might have stolen a couple in that fight.
Or might say
have 2 or 3.
Or might just be saying, I think it's about time. Yeah, so Potato on his way.
Oh yeah.
To go do Luca. And Xalde on his way.
Yeah,
I guess
currently I'm observing the inventory. Hopefully the Bacchuses are maybe down below, or no?
I don't think they exist, Martin. I think we are going no Bacchus on this.
Well, Tella's going to be useful for as long as he lives.
Yeah,
may not be long.
Things are going to happen.
Oh, those are valuable.
Those are very nice. Yep, I don't disagree with 20 Cure 3s here, because boy howdy, you might need them.
Yep. Any White Mage in a Storm, yes, even Cure 3s. Cure 3s qualify as the unsung 13th character of Free Enterprise.
Is Cecil getting Zerked here, or is Cecil your mage? Interesting. There's a lot of questions that have to be asked.
You have a full power Edge, you have a ridiculous Sid, and you have a mediocre. You basically have Cecil that is Kane with cover strats. I think Cecil becomes the chemist.
Good point.
I'd say Starvale, Cecil, and yeah, Chemistry 101. I think we're there.
Hey Martin, how worried do you think chat is right now? The fact that we haven't addressed these flags.
It's a nap time.
I mean,
could be nap time.
Almost for me.
I was gonna say, I'd go for some dinner and a nap.
I think we do have a very important question to ask, because the big bad final boss is too mean and too nasty to put anywhere else. You don't want to run into big bad final bosses in Antlion Cave and stuff like that. So once our party members are full powered and they want to, go save the world and all that jazz, we kind of ask this question because we can't just be boring and fight the original boss. We can't have original music. We got to do all this fancy stuff. So there's a couple questions we have to ask, and I think one of them is, whose tushy are we gonna mushy tonight?
I was gonna ask, what if Z doesn't have a butt?
Oh, well then I guess there's no butt to kick. Oh, there are 3 Bacchus wines there. Look at that.
Oh, I knew I saw a couple swiped in the process. So, but how many sprites are we up to? 540. A lot. It's a big number. It's a bigger number than Potato's name. No, that definitely has a butt.
That's a big sprite.
That is a huge size. You might have to kick high for that one.
It's a good one, though. It's a beautiful sprite. Very well done, of course, to Scarlet Kitty. Oh, that is not...
Of course the counter nuke goes on television.
Yeah, that's not the person you wanted to get hit.
Tell him taking one for the... Look, if Edward isn't there, it's a viable second target, okay? What do you want?
Oh, interesting. We're sitting on Sid's turn to life up Tella. Very conservative route here for the fight.
Okay,
I would have
I mean-
slammed that Bacchus and probably died for it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Berserking Cecil. All right, are we gonna run all three?
this might be get Tella alive to nerf or possibly cure.
Yeah, throw Cure 4 and yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting.
So, but yeah, your Sid here.
I guess Sid is going to be his Fiery Hammer Chemist.
You know, Possum, I've been playing this game for a long time. That's a first.
Yeah. That is a first for me as well with the Flare Hammer. I'm a big fan of letting Sid hit things.
Yeah.
But it is a very safe route to go for the fight.
Mhm.
So if you just want to make sure, because if you're thinking, okay, my opponent almost certainly did the moon, all I need to do is get through this fight and I win.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think that's probably the case. Is it's like I think I'm ahead because I made the move.
And we said it at the beginning, like Sid, that HP pool, he's not going to die. Like, you have to actively like do bad things to Sid in order for him to die in this fight. So
yeah, especially with multiple berserkers.
yeah. So nice targeting. Nice target. Go after the kid. It's fair.
It's rude.
Yeah.
We do see Potato going after the Mad Ogre chest. This is not for the weapon. This is for Bacchus, almost certainly. Meanwhile, Xalde making good work so far. Down a little bit low on MP on Tella, but it doesn't take much considering he starts with 90. The nukes are firing. We're still doing 5,500 to 6K with the Zerkers, so between the nukes and the Zerkers, I think this is going to be a much cleaner fight than you would think, especially when the kid is rolling quads on his nukes. That's going to push damage quite a bit.
Yeah, power of that Stardust Rod, courtesy of the Forge. You know, it's just, yeah. Give me all the stat items. Yes, please.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
We get a Zerk on Sid. This suddenly became aggressive. This nuke. This is going to be fun here.
Okay.
Oh, reflected nuke. Okay.
Okay. I honestly want to see what the number Sid puts out here because it's going to be amazing.
5,300.
Cecil,
And there it is.
Be patently average. Wow, really?
Shout outs to Sid.
The only swing from Sid? Wow.
That is beautiful. Well done, Xalde. GG's. Well deserved. The demist pays off, and we are joined by the man of the hour. Maybe everybody's favorite new gambler, the man of the people, Xalde.
Yeah.
GG.
GG.
Oh my god. First I was going, oh my god, Tell us my white mage, tell us my white mage, tell us my white mage, please help me. And then at the end I was playing it safe. I'm just, because like, it's always, Cecil and Edge goes or blah blah blah. Sid's always chemist. And then at the end when Sid banged his hammer, I'm like, oh.
Uh-huh.
So I'm used to Sid doing damage.
Yeah.
And then the only way I must have won this is praise be the demist. That has to be the only way because I can't see any other way. Where was Wyvern?
Ribbon room.
Yeah.
Ah. So go no moon.
Yes, your opponent did go moon, cleared everything but the Ogopogo spot, which had elements at it, and then came back to Earth, chased a couple things, finally went to fight the demist. You went with the no moon route, and it absolutely paid off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sadly, I personally think Fried is the better gamer, so I had to take gambles that I assumed they wouldn't do, just that way I would have some sort of an edge on that. And I am just so glad that worked. When I saw the Luca key from Demist, and then followed that, and then I got my I can't remember the order anymore. I got adamant somewhere along the way, and I was just like cheering myself so much following that chain.
You gotta
So-
follow your gambles, and you did it well.
Yeah. So let's talk about one of them that, I mean, me being me, obviously, to me it's not a gamble, but we'll ask you. Obviously, you grab that Cecil. You now have Paladin Cecil. Eblin. Were you looking for a stick in Eblin?
Yes.
Was that the idea?
Well, weapons until I got the defense sword, then I was happy. But also like armor, I had like no mage gear at all. I think Paladin was still rocking a leather hat and a leather shirt. So I was more looking for armor and gear. The weapons I was mostly happy with.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
and I'm just kleptomaniac and I just love picking stuff up as I go.
That's fair. But between that and obviously, you know, the moon veil that proved.
Oh,
I-
God,
yeah.
once that
words.
moon veil's like cemented the Demas play there. I was so tempted to do it on the evil wall though because that was mean, but the crush phase actually kind of helped me out once the walls slowed down.
Mhm. Yeah, just that D dot missed. Just
I love
very
you,
well
Iridia's
played.
mom. I'm sorry I had to kill you.
But yeah, very well played. I guess something I brought up during the cast, and myself and Possum, we both had a chat about it. About the hour mark, roughly, is when you finally grabbed the hook from Sheila and went down the hook route and saw Edge. When you saw that, what was your thought in your head at that point?
Praise whatever's out there. Oh my God. I was hoping for just a 5th character. That's why I went to the moon right away and I didn't do Sheila 1 first because I wanted a 5th character. And if it was anybody but Edward, I would have done D machine grinds just to get my levels in that. But when I saw that Edward, I was kind of panicking. So then I went did Sheila 1, got that hook, desperately dove that hook to hopefully get somebody that wasn't Edward, although I kind of thought about keeping Edward just for the wall. And then I did all the looting along the way because I needed weapons or gear or something. I think Cecil at that point was still rocking the poison axe.
Yeah, you basically picked up everything you could ever want for Edge and nothing for anyone else the entire seed.
I was so happy to find that Edge because after like the early watery pass route and finding like boomerangs and seeing all the ninjas, I was just thinking, okay, this guarantees Edge is not in the seed.
That's usually a safe assumption most of the time. So you're not wrong in that. But glad you didn't sell off the items because, that would have been a thing. So,
Oh, I would have been sad.
exactly. So, but yeah, no, you're obviously, you know, the D.Mist hard gating it is a rare circumstance. So the fact that it paid off.
It's the Edge I need in this.
Yeah. So you're 1-0. So what are we looking for you in game 2? Are you changing anything on this one or?
Heck no. Like I said, I consider Fried to be the better executioner, the better gamer. So I think I might be relying more on gambles to hopefully find some sort of an edge like I did today.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Well, lightning can strike twice. I mean, everyone seems to think it can't, but it definitely can. If you feel you need to gamble, keep gambling. I personally think you're good enough you don't, but I wouldn't want to change up anything because it worked.
Now, after wiping 2, Antlion Cave, oh God, what's his name again?
Plague.
I want to say Doom Gaze, but it's
It's Plague. Yeah.
whatever. After wiping that one 3 times, I think, and then there was a wipe somewhere else. I think that was in Baron Inn that I
Pale
took a
Dim.
wipe to.
Mhm.
Yeah, to Pale Dim.
Yep.
After all that, I was just. So I'm very happy that these the gambles paid off. I needed it.
Yeah, I mean, if you think you're behind, you got to make the plays to win, and that's the right mindset to have. I mean, yeah, congratulations. Sorry to cut you off, Martin.
Yeah, well done. So I'm looking forward to race 2. So
I am too.
When is your race to?
Thursday, same time.
All right.
And then if we need a race 3, I think we agreed on Friday at the same time. I'll have to double check though.
I will definitely make sure I'm there to watch that one, because yeah, this was a great time. So
I need to go back and rewatch this VOD.
just remember, you focus on the things you did great, and just fast forward through the plague and you'll be fine.
That's what I have you two for. You two make me look good.
Yeah, we make everybody look good.
Except us.
That is absolutely true. So,
Xalde, you made yourself look good today.
You did.
Very well run. Very well run.
Yeah.
I'll give credit to Bette Midler as well. Her naming scheme for my characters.
If it works, why change it? So, all right. Well, other than that, yeah. GG once again. We look forward to game 2, and go relax and enjoy the victory.
Oh, I will. At least until I have to go to school tomorrow and figure out what the heck I'm teaching. So sorry if any of my students are watching this. This is why my lessons are kind of weird tomorrow.
Oh, I was gonna say, self-study day. Everybody, open your books and just leave me alone today. Cheers.
I like that. Coloring day. Coloring day. Everyone just color. It's
There you go.
May I
Stay
suggest?
between the lines. If you go outside the lines, that's okay too.
May I suggest teaching them relative agility?
No, possum.
You know,
If they're coloring,
as a physics
how old
teacher,
are
that
these
might
kids?
actually
Come
work.
on. I mean, we do need a new breed of free enterprise runners, but that's getting a bit silly.
Yeah, we want to encourage them to join, not have them run away screaming.
Yeah, run away. That's math. Yeah, no. Yeah, but yeah, go enjoy your evening, Xalde. Well done, and yeah, you are 1-0.
Thank you so
GG.
much. Have a good night, everyone.
Take care.
Take care.
Really? Trying to teach kids relative agility? What is wrong with you?
A
Possum.
lot. Meanwhile, Xalde, again, GG's excellent run. Demist, chef's kiss, beautifully executed, and the play you needed to make. Potato is in the Zeromus fight. Potato is going to have a slightly different experience here. That slightly different experience is no flare hammer.
No, because I mean, we saw what Xalde did with that fight. No, it's going to look exactly the same. Cecil and Edge are going to be the damage, and Sid will be the chemist.
Well, there
It's
were
gonna change.
there were slightly higher levels on Xalde's side as well.
Ish, but the premise is still there. That's the important thing.
Fair.
And honestly, if Pella eats the counter nuke here, yeah, no, everything works exactly as intended.
Yeah, I mean, basically this is, to your point, just going to be Edge and Cecil getting drunk, and Sid using Cure 3s. And when Palom dies,
That does change something. Palom doesn't have nuke. So, yeah, this fight will be slightly different this time around. But 20 Cure 3s, I mean, you're all right.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be much of an issue here. The DPS is just shy of 5k. It's not the best, it's not the worst. I think with Sid chipping in with a little bit of reflect damage with the fire 3s, ice 3s, lit 3s, whatever 3s that Fried Potato 3 wants to throw out, go ahead and get that extra chip damage in. There is a 3 in his name, right? There's every other in the English language.
Yeah, there's unfortunately there's no fire 4.
Oh, well, isn't that nuke?
Hold on, unless we're talking about Ruby and Elements or
Fair.
Ruby and Ogopogo,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
there's fire 4.
Why do you gotta bring that back up, Martin?
Those were very large numbers out of spells you don't really expect those types of numbers out of. So sometimes you just have to sit back and enjoy it. Because we've all been on the wrong end of that one before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, Well, while Potato navigates this, what are we looking at? Obviously, yeah, this has been a great race, and I feel like anybody that is in the tournament or just plays in general. By the way, if Harumph rolls your seed, make sure you kill D.Mist. Doesn't matter where, just make sure you kill it, because we all know where that's gonna go. What other races do we have? I mean, this is the second half of the round of 64. We completed the first half last week. There's a lot of races going on this week.
Yeah, there's basically half of the bracket is to be completed this week and get everybody moving on and moving upward. And I think tomorrow we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see 6 different races tomorrow, so definitely a lot of good to pay attention to.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I see a name there right at the very end that kind of strikes a chord there, sir.
Yeah, Klopfer versus Pyre is going to be a heck of a match. I agree.
It is. It's going to be fantastic. Also, the Direwolf Scythe Marshal is going to be great. You have Commander Leonhardt and Plumeria. You have Possum and Zoe.
And we have Palom Fire 3 himself, which I don't think was intended.
Walls are much like time. They're more of a construct that doesn't have to exist all the time. Also, the new Contella and the world has corrected itself once more.
Yeah, and I think Potato did enough damage to where he's going to be able to avoid the black hole. Mm-hmm. Edge could die here. Edge did not die here, which is good. So I think what we'll end up seeing is a tip without the black hole. Mm-hmm. And we should be okay from here on out.
Yeah.
Or maybe a black hole and then some darting, maybe one extra Bacchus wine and a Reserc. But I think Potato's going to have this pretty well under control.
Yep. Yeah, just keep Sid on chemist duty and just get everyone outside the range of the
definitely
firing, and yeah, should be good.
Yeah, there's rocks. Although if Edge goes down here, this is a little sketchy and nobody dodged. That's also not great.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Cecil gets up. Are we out of line? We might be out of line.
Yeah, Cecil needs to get his dodging pants on now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He needs to dodge something because he's at least getting 2 turns.
He'll get 2. He'll use Cure 3 next turn. Get back up. Probably get another swing. I mean, you would have to miss an input here. Oh, that's bold.
Oh boy.
Okay, please roll low.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Well, this is interesting.
Well, a little flavor at the end. Sure, why not?
Appropriately, the protagonist versus the world, I guess. But boy,
wow.
Yes, Cecil left his pants at home today. Apparently, he has decided that he's wearing lead.
Holy yeah, that might want to. Okay, all right, now we're good.
This is not the gas you want to be cooking with, by the way, y'all.
Well, of course, there's the dodge. Right
naturally,
after the full heal. Yeah, that's fitting.
Yeah, from here though, you can actually hold A. You'll actually get through the fight.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that was it was a little scary there. But no, not yet.
Not yet.
Wow, that was 6 hits. Was it not?
That had to be the low roll because 17 figure 11,000 damage, so it had to just barely tip. So this should do it.
There we go.
Hey.
There we go.
Hey, speak of the devil.
BG.
Hey.
GG, Potato.
Hey,
My goodness.
That little heart stop you gave us there at the end.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it. We're like, oh, Cecil needs to dodge. Nah.
Yeah.
Not this time. We got it covered.
I was really hoping for a dodge from him a little sooner than the one he did, but that one was enough. So.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah.
1, GG. Obviously,
Thank you.
congratulations. 2, this seed.
Yeah.
This seed and that exact D-dot missed.
Yeah, D missed, and I told myself all day like I was real worried about doing something less than smart, and when I saw Edge, I focused so hard on him that I didn't see the wall right on the other side of him. I don't know if it would have really changed my routing at all, but it wasn't until I came back and did the top of tower that I noticed that boss, and pretty much from that point forward, I definitely felt behind, not to mention all the dead checks that I did before going back for that demist.
Can I ask about one particular dead check?
Sure.
Have you ever faced elements at Ogopogo before? And I ask because holy cow, that fire was rude.
Yeah, it's scary at that fight. I should have. I see on the scroll of Sandruby, so I'm glad I didn't stick around and try to do it again. I could have just done reflect strats, but I didn't want to spend a lot of time because I hadn't seen Evil Wall. I thought I hadn't seen Evil Wall yet, so I was kind of in face check / do quick bosses mode, which is why I took the 2 at the top. It turned out to be nothing really, but yeah, the fire, I knew it was coming. I was like, I'm not gonna get through the ruby phase before he wrecks me. So
I'm sorry to say, wreck you. He did.
yeah. Oh yeah.
That one kind of hurt a little.
The sleepy wyvern at Ribbon Room was fun. Didn't really do anything either time. Like, okay.
I will say the reset on the first attempt was very heads up, though, knowing that if you get through that on Battle Speed 1, it's going to take you roughly 12 years. And there were enough things in that seed that were going to take you roughly 12 years because of how the boss is just laid out. With Golbez where he was, with the wall where it was, with, Wyvern where it was, with Demus where it was. Just a lot of stuff that takes time. So I just thought that was very heads up managing your time.
Yeah, as soon as Edge went down, I knew, I was like, if I can't get Edge rolling on this and keep him rolling on the whole fight, it's not going to go anywhere. And so, yeah, I just was like, okay, Wyvern standard time, and we're gonna take it the other way, and he didn't even get a nuke off that time, so.
Question for you. What was we had an idea, but obviously you do Sheila 1 early, obviously, hook, find Edge.
Yeah, that was nice. I love Edge.
Immediately go with Steel Sirens.
Yep.
You grab 15.
Yep.
At that point, is it, in your head, is it 30 in a dream? Is it, I'm just going to get a small flavoring and save the rest for 10 key items? Where were we at that point?
I wish that before I had gone underground to Steel Sirens, I had gone to the moon to check the character, because I grabbed the Sirens and realized I don't actually have a white mage. And Dwarf Castle's right there. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do a handful of eggs to make sure that nothing at Dwarf Castle gives me any problems. And just kind of go from there and see where the seed takes me. And then Dwarf Castle did not give me someone that could heal any better than Tella. So I continued lamenting and went on up to the moon. At that point, I felt strong enough to take on moon spots without doing a further grind, and I was saving the Sirens in case I found like Sandruby right away into Rosa or Porum, and then I would just spend the rest of the Sirens then.
That makes sense. So, yeah, no, unfortunately, your best white mage was courtesy of a Troya shop. So, sorry.
Yeah, I was really glad at least those Cure 3s were there at the end, because I didn't want to have to go all the way over to Kaipo to buy Cure 3s that I hadn't seen or something, because I knew I was going to probably need them to get through that fight. I mean, Edge is going to do plenty of work, but still need to heal a couple times at least.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we know that you are an absolute grinder of this game. You have a ton of one-on-one experience, not in tournaments, but on the ladder. What changes do you think you're going to make going forward now that you are down a game, if any?
I don't really know. I'm gonna try to pay more attention to the things that I don't usually, like the boss route, the ruby spot in this case. I don't know if that put me behind not doing it earlier, kind of thing. But once I realized that I had missed it, that definitely mentally kind of threw me off. And at that point, I was in the midst of a bunch of dead checks, so that just kind of spiraled into that. And then maybe if I see a demisted Leviathan, I won't fade it until it's the absolute last thing I can do. Really, I usually do in seeds. That is a thing I will do. But maybe next time I won't, because I could have just grinded up to nuke right there, and gone and handled that probably, and then the seed would have been entirely different. So.
Well, well, like I said earlier, it's why we play the game. I mean, it's.
Oh yeah, I had a blast.
How rare is that exact circumstance?
Oh,
even though yes, the last 2 restreams I've done, both have had that exact fight.
Yep. The further and further I got.
I mean, yeah.
Yep. The further and further I got into dead checks, the more I was like, no, the seed decided to give me demisted Leviathan. Like with something that I definitely have to do. Like I can't not do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, once again, GG's on the finish. I mean, it's not the result, but
I'm glad that I didn't wipe. I'll say that, like, because I probably would have just FF'd at that point, because I don't want to spend another 4 minutes, in a Z fight at that point. But it was nice to get through. Cecil doing work at the end there, and GG to my opponent, and thank you all for putting this on. I hope the chat had a blast. I'm sure with you both on comms, it was a good time.
You did a great job yourself, so don't discount. I hear your next race is Thursday. You can be ready for it?
Thursday, yes, definitely. Thursday, same time.
All right.
I'm excited.
Excellent.
Hopefully we get a white mage this time.
Don't be greedy. Look, settle for Cure 3s and.
I mean, it worked out, so it is enough some of the time. So.
All right, Potato, go enjoy your evening and take care. We'll see you back soon.
Thank you all.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, Martin.
That was fun.
That was. Credit to Harumph and credit to our runners, Potato and Xalde. Credit to Dathis for tracking. Credit to you in the comms booth here. Great work all around by everybody. Again, the runners in particular got put through on this one, and I'm very happy to see them both get through it. What a race.
Yeah, no kidding. Also, please make sure to go follow the racers. I mean, Potato. I don't even know if Dathis streams. You can go follow Dathis anyways. Harumph, Possum. I'm going to omit myself for obvious reasons. But yeah, go follow the rest of them. They're all fantastic. Where are we going, Possum? What are we doing? I feel like the evening's not over.
We're going fishing. Oh, no, we're not.
It's kind of late for fishing.
Hold on. It is for fishing.
Okay.
Going to Domania to watch Flurry 14, the Professor, take on Elven Sorrow in game number 2. No spoilers. They played a first game. Don't spoil the first game. They're now playing a second game. No spoilers on this race. That is going to be an amazing race.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, so let's see. Do I have any final thoughts? D.mist, folks.
Post-it notes.
It's not optional. It's a reality. Sorry.
Zoe. All right, that's all I got.
That's a little more haunting than the first time. We'll work on it.
I'll work on it. Have a great night, y'all. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out, and enjoy the Flurry and Elven Sorrow race.
Yeah,
Bye.
take care, everyone. Bye. Hey, Possum, you think we're off the air?
I don't know.
You were actually just